G'day there, James here. So is it morally acceptable to give a homeless person money? Are you a good person for trying to help someone who's a bum, a homeless person living on the streets? And I'm also going to be touching on a simple solution to help homeless people get back on their feet. And hint, it involves capitalism and privatization and having a profit motive. So first, let's have a look at the concept of giving someone on the street who's begging for money. Is that really going to be helping them? What are you teaching someone when they don't offer anything of value and they beg for money? What are you teaching them? Are you teaching them any kind of valuable lesson? Imagine if you had children, every time they begged for money, you just gave them money. Is that going to set them up to be a responsible, grown, independent, autonomous, sovereign adult? No. It's going to teach them to be a dependent parasite, and that's exactly what you're doing when you give bums money. It's not helping them, it's actually being a bad person. Most people don't consider this because they just do it for the egoic purposes of feeling good, just giving a bum money, oh, I think I'm doing a good thing, without really considering the act. What is that doing? What is it teaching them? It's not helping them to be independent, objectively, to look after themselves and get back on their feet. Really, what you're doing is you're funding their drug addiction, for their alcohol, for their cigarettes, for their soft drinks, for their iced lattes. You see, or I see, because I travel the world and I see bums and homeless people in all these different countries, and you can see what they do. They smoke cigarettes, they drink alcohol, they take drugs, they drink soft drink, they consume so much crap. So all you're doing is funding their masochistic tendencies of self-destructive behavior. It's not a good thing to support someone killing themselves. No, you don't have the moral right to do that. So this is where it comes into, what should we actually do as a society to help these people get off the streets? Because no one wants to walk down the street and see homeless people. No one really wants to be a homeless person on the street, depressed and miserable and feeling helpless and useless and desperate and needing to beg other people for money. Who wants to do that? And no one wants to see that. But obviously we can't turn to the government for help, because half the time they're the people who are creating this homeless crisis. Especially in America, Canada, some parts of the world are a lot worse than others, India, China, compared to, say, Australia or Austria, for example. There's a lot less homelessness, but even one person homeless on the street is far too many people. When there are great ideas we can think of to help those people. And it comes from a profit motive, because in a free, capitalistic, private society, run by objective laws and objective morality, with no government, no police, no subjective court systems, right? We need to figure out, well, how do we take care of these problems to make it a utopian society? Remembering, utopia just means a word, it's a concept, which means the best humans can create. So how do we create the best society, the best towns, cities, countries, world we can? I have an idea, and this is just the first of many. And it's funny to say, but you need someone to come along and say, how can I make money from these homeless people? How can I turn a profit from someone who has no money? Because everything requires money in this world. That's just a fact. That's the way of life. And it's okay if it's a good money and that money's being used appropriately. So someone would come along and want to fix the problem of homeless people. So they create a facility where they can offer these homeless people to come and stay free of charge in the beginning when they've got no money, a roof over their head, somewhere comfortable to sleep, out of the rain, out of the wind and cold, where they get fed, watered, bathed, even have internet and access to, it's basically a rehabilitation centre to train staff and psychologists to help them get back on their feet, quit their drug addictions, because most of them have alcohol, cigarette, heroin, drug addictions, and that's why they're on the streets in the first place. But that's the symptom. The real cause would be psychological trauma. So helping those people get better mentally and physically, and then helping them to find a job. And when they find a job, they repay what they owe. So all the psychologist appointments, they repay it. The renting the place for the shelter, the food they ate, the water they drank, the water they used for showers, they just simply repay it over time. It doesn't need to be $10 million that they have to repay and you force them into indentured servitude. No, that's just ridiculous. But a fair and reasonable contract that they're aware of, and they can sign that before they actually go to these facilities. And no one's forcing them. We're not rounding them up off the streets. We're offering them, would you like to come and stay at this facility until you get better? And we're going to get you a job, and then you will earn money, and you can stay at here until you earn enough to find your own apartment or house or whatever you need to do, caravan, van. Then you simply just repay the debt. Simple. You don't even need donations from the public. There's no need for taxation of forcing money from people who perhaps don't want to help these homeless people. Fair enough. Each their own. Altruism is not a good philosophy. Egoism is. That's why I think about this, because I'm a selfish, rational individual. I don't want to see homeless people on the street. I don't want to imagine myself being homeless. I don't like it that these people are suffering. So I think of an idea and I put that out there, so hopefully people see it, and perhaps one day someone does create this kind of business venture where they can help homeless people. Because that's what I want. I want to see the world be a utopian world where it's the best we can possibly have, with innovative ideas like this, which don't require any violent totalitarian domination, which doesn't require massive amounts of donations from people. And sure, you could have donations to build this facility in the first place, because I'm sure people actually would donate to build a facility to take care of the homeless problem in their city or town once and for all. If they're willing to give a bum money on the street, they'd be most likely willing to pay more money to actually help that bum get off the streets forever. And any future bums or people who fall into unfortunate situations and don't have any friends or family to help, there is a professional organization run for profit specifically designed to help people in desperate need like that. And one last point, you can have it, obviously it depends on the size of the town and how many bums there are. So this can range from a small facility to big massive sheds like dormitories. So the costs are low to build this facility in the first place, and it's also to encourage these once homeless people that they can't stay there forever because they want their privacy. They want to get back on their feet earning money as soon as possible so they can get their own private place, not be sleeping in a dormitory. But a dormitory is better than sleeping on the street on a piece of cardboard, which I see far too often every single day traveling the world in every country I go to, and it breaks my heart. It's horrible that humanity can build microphones and laptops and video cameras, but still there's homeless people on the street. And a simple solution like this would be easily navigable for people who have a capitalistic entrepreneurial mindset. But it always falls to the government to take care of situations like this. Communism, socialism, that'll fix it all up. But no, it doesn't. It always just makes it worse and worse and worse. So the facilities would depend on the amount of homeless people in that town. Some places would definitely have bigger, some would have worse. You could have psychologists and rehab staff that come out to the facility, or perhaps you don't even need to do that and you could just book in appointments with these homeless people to go to already pre-established psychologists. And it just goes on to the psychologist tab, right? And then once the bum gets the job, he's not a bum anymore, he's a normal working man or woman again, and they can just repay the debt to the psychologist over time to the facility as per normal. Boom, what a simple solution. Obviously there'd be more details than just what I've said, but that's a matter of details. That's it. Just this general idea could totally change the streets and get rid of homeless people forever all around the world. If you think that's a really cool idea, let me know. Pass this video around. Write in the comments if you've got any other exceptional ideas where we could add and make this idea even better. And hopefully one day, perhaps in our lifetimes, we could see a world free of homeless people.